It's just not it for me, and I'll set it off to the side and we'll find a use for this. All right, Heaters Only LLC, picking things up where we left off in the last video, and I do mean right where we left off in the last video with the Bates reel unboxing and first impressions. The plan for this one, I'm gonna get a couple of these suckers spooled up, mounted up, and we'll get our first look at the Bates reels on a couple heaters. I'm also gonna touch on a couple things that I've learned about these Bates reels since my last video. You guys seem to really enjoy that one. Shout outs to everybody that checked that out. Really quick, wanna let you guys know about a couple things that have happened. The Finesse A-Rig, the Divine Finesse series A-Rigs from 6th Sense. Some people called it an umbrella rig, I call it an A-Rig. Have dropped. You guys have asked me over and over again in the DMs and in the comments when the Finesse A-Rigs are gonna drop, and I didn't have an answer for you until now. They're live and direct and full effect, 6thsensefishing.com, JR10 for 10% off. I love pairing this one up with the Party Minnow and the 6th Sense Divine Finesse Swimbait jig heads. Any of your Finesse Swimbait terminal tackle is gonna work great with these, but that Party Minnow looks deadly on the Divine Finesse A-Rigs. These are the new minis, dude. Let's bust this one out. Stoked on this. I fished this one a little bit last year. Has it been that long? Yeah, it was cold. I remember it was cold. I was throwing this. Tested this out a little bit and did some experimenting with, you know, what swim baits I would run, and landed on the Party Minnow. But, I mean, this is an awesome little option for those of you that want to throw the A-Rig, but you don't want to, well, really, you don't need it. Big gear to throw a full-size A-Rig anyway. But anyways, for those of you that might want to throw around a smaller, less intimidating, less invasive, less expensive Alabama rig, maybe on some lighter tackle, this is the move right here. The 6th Sense Divine Finesse umbrella rig. Let's check it out. Some people call it an umbrella rig, I call it a rig. Chandelier, a little mini chandelier. Look at that, it's not perfect. I got to tweak on that a little bit, you know, get her lined out and balanced, but you get the idea there. A little mini chandelier, some swim baits on the back. Anyways, just want to let you guys know about that. 6thsensefishing.com for the new Finesse series Divine umbrella rig. Some people call it an umbrella rig, I call it a rig. I want to do a quick swim bait unboxing here. This is another one from KGB. Couldn't resist. Get a little swig of my coffee here. We're just going with the flow here, stream of consciousness as usual. I don't really have a game plan other than I know I'm gonna get some lines spooled up onto a few of these Bates reels. We're gonna check out some tackle. We're gonna talk fishing, and that's what we're doing. So hopefully you're down for it. If you are, you might as well just go ahead and crack a hook set on the like button right now. Thank you for tuning in to the latest installment of the Heaters Only LLC anthology here. Secure your place at the corporate board meetings by subscribing to the channel right now. Okay, so let's crack into this box here from KGB. I'm gonna use this Berg Blades bottle butcher to do it. Shout outs to the homie Berg Blades. You guys check him out. My friend Matt makes these really cool pieces of EDC cutlery, little mini cleaver bottle opener style. I don't be drinking the booze anymore, but it's a cool little bottle opener cleaver style piece of cutlery here, and he makes a lot of really high quality handmade knives as well. You can check out the bottle butcher from my friend Berg Blades. Not a sponsor, just a homie. And this is one that I kind of couldn't resist it, you know. It's a swim bait. Surprise, surprise, it's a freaking swim baits from KGB Swimbaits. So spoiler alert, it is a swim bait, but it's one that I typically, it's kind of, anyway, you'll see, whatever. Let's just check it out. It's this one. It's that color right here, man. I can't even remember the name of the color. Clown eye moon pie. It's not moon pie. The clown eye, clownfish. Whoa. Honestly, I should probably look up the color and at least say the proper name here in the video, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, sometimes the pictures of baits will make them either look better than they really are or worse than they really are. And then you can get them in your hands and you can either be pleasantly surprised or maybe a little bit let down. This is definitely a pleasantly surprised type of situation right now. This thing looks so sick now that I have it in front of me. Pictures did not do it justice. I'm gonna give you guys the up close and personal look now. Check this out. Let me jump off into my phone, wherever it is. DB Clown, whatever that is, DB Clown. Oh, and in case you guys haven't noticed, it's a Chad Chad. This is a KGB Chad Chad. This is my favorite glide bait right here. The resin with the beautiful clown paint job. I mean, bright white, chartreuse, orange, pink, purple, flaked out, vibrant, high vis. I mean, it's not really typically the type of Chad Chad or swim bait period that I throw. You know, I like to throw the natural kind of shad type colors. There's a Pro's Choice 6 cents draw 6.5. I really love this small little glide bait. And then right here I have the last of the Mohicans, the last run of the KGB little guy. See, that's more of like a natural blue shiner color. This is out of this world, dude. Super vibrant. I saw they did another drop of these and I had to have one because you never know when they'll do it again. And sometimes I see a color I just can't resist and I want to fish this thing. So I picked that up from KGB. There's one more look at it. Absolutely beautiful. The DB Clown Chad Chad. Not a Spro Chad Chad. This is the real resin. You know, that's just my preference. A lot of people love the ABS version and they are awesome baits. But for me, compared to the original Chad Chad, the ones that they're making over at KGB, this is the way to go right here for me. That's a cool bait we'll get to play around with, see if we can get bit on some crazy colored stuff this fall. But I think that brings us to the reel spooling portion of the video. And we should go ahead and talk about what kind of line we're gonna get put on these Bates reels that they hooked us up with. Bates Fishing Co., new channel partner. Shout outs to Bates for hooking us up and for wanting to work. It's awesome. They're a fast growing name in the reel space. And thus far, hey, chill buddy. Blaze, man, he's on high alert. Thus far, the only reels that have sort of caught my attention and made me consider venturing outside of my little Shimano bubble. You guys know I live inside the Shimano bubble. But we've hooked up with Bates. Bates has hooked us up. And hey, chill, buddy. Golly, be quiet. And the only thing to do now, come on, hey, come up here. Come up. Hey, come on. You're fine. Come up. Say hi to everybody. That's my man. What is that? That's the Hundo. That's that Hundo. Which one do you like, buddy? The salty Hundo? What about the OG? Yeah, no, not that one. He likes the Hundos. Anyways, shout outs to Bates for hooking it up. Fast growing name in the fishing industry. And after learning even more about the company since I last spoke to you guys about the Bates reels, I'm even more stoked to be on board with them and to have them put some energy behind the channel. I'm looking forward to incorporating the reels into my time out there on the water, and that process officially starts today as I spool these things up with line, get them mounted up to rods and tied up with some baits for the first time ever. So that's my plan. One thing I did want to point out really quickly about some of the Bates reels, at least in the Hundo series, these reels, at least the spools, it's like modular. So you can kind of like do some swipping and some swapping and customize these things. You can tweak them and adjust them and rearrange them. Nothing too major, but really what I mean is the spools are interchangeable, something that I found out. So say I have this is the OG, check this out, that old school open face vibes. The OG with the black and gold. We took a very up close and personal detailed look at all these reels. One video back here on the channel if you want to get like a longer look at each one of these and hear me talk about the specific models. But here's the OG, and then we have the salty Hundo and then the Hundo right here. But something I learned that's really cool is you can pop the side plate off of the OG, very easy. You can pull the spool out. Say if I wanted to like, I don't know, just play around, and do some tinkering. Let's pull this side plate off of this salty Hundo right here. Check this out. As you can see, the spools, with the exception of color, identical. Identical. So you take this gold and you can kind of, little hair there, and you can kind of spice up this blue and silver salty Hundo. Throw the side plate back on, lock her down. Check that out. Now you got a little customization for your organization. Little gold accent in there. Kind of, you know, tailor it to your own sort of visual aesthetic. Then we can take this silver one, drop it into the OG, throw that side plate back on. Gotta go backwards. Gotta go backwards to put it back on. Makes sense. Boom. Check that out. That's pretty slick. I like the look of that black, gold, and silver. Anyways, just something cool that I learned that I want to show you guys. I'm probably gonna put them back to how they came, but you can do a little swapperooski, change some things around, and you know, just change the look of the reels. Thought that was pretty cool. Just thought that was something pretty cool that you could do with the Bates Hundo series reels, and I wanted to show that to you guys really quickly. I'm gonna get them back to their original configuration, and we're gonna put line on this Hundo. The Hundo. This one right here. This is the one I'm most excited to fish with first. Just the 100 size bait caster, 7.1 to 1, beautiful freaking Terminator metal, liquid metal looking, just things just sick, dude. So I've got some 17-pound Seaguar and Vizex fluorocarbon here, and I also have some 20-pound Sunline Assassin fluorocarbon. I'm gonna start off with the 17. I'm gonna throw 17 on the Hundo and get it rolling. So let's do that. I got a little, you can see I have the spooling station set up here, ingenious engineering fashion, clipped into the vise here. That'll work, that'll work, that'll work. This is a little cheap little line spooling station I got off Amazon, but it does the trick. I've been using it for years. I'll link it down below in the description if you guys want to check it out. Also, speaking of down below in the video description, everything that I use, reels, cameras, lenses, video equipment, microphones, lighting, and I'm sure some other stuff that I'm forgetting, is all linked down below in the video description if you guys are interested in checking out what I use to not only fish, but make my fishing videos for YouTube. All the resources are out there if you guys want to check that out. I'll try to remember to put the link for this line spooler down there as well. But before we can get this spooled up with line, something I like to do personally, you guys have probably seen me do it a time or two if you've been following along here on the channel with any of my other reel spooling setup videos. I like to have the reel mounted to a rod so that I can keep tension, adequate tension, on the line, on the spool, on the rod tip, on the reel, and get a nice even coating, you know? I find that it helps me to have the reel mounted to the rod. So that's first step. Step number one, mount the reel to the rod, feed the line through the line guides backwards, go in, tie my arbor knot, then I'm gonna fill this thing up with some fluoro. So let's do that. And here I have the rod that this Bates Hundo is gonna get mounted to. This is my 7.4 medium heavy mod fast heater series swim jig rod. But first, let's go ahead and remove this Curado M, which is the reel that replaced the Curado K. Hot take, this ain't it. The Curado M for me, that's not the one. At least not compared to the 200K. I know it's got all the updated technology, more adjustability, easier castability, MGL this, lighter spool that, better bearings, better components, better manufacturing. I don't care. The Curado M, the new version, the one that replaced the Curado K, it's just not it for me. And you guys might have heard me talk about that here on the channel in the past. But still an excellent reel, and I'll set it off to the side and we'll find a use for this. Get triggered. All right, here it is. The moment of truth. This reel is lighter than that Curado, I can tell you that. Let's take our first look at the Bates Hundo mounted up to the 7.4 swim jig heater. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, dude, that looks pretty freaky sick. That's pretty clean. Clean and mean right there. Ooh, it feels good in the hand, old son. Next step, feed the line through the line guides. You know the deal, man. I've got so many of these videos here on this channel of me putting line on reels and how I do it in my process. And every time I go to do a video like this, I tell myself, I'm not gonna do the whole process of going through everything on how I spool line onto a bait caster. I'm just gonna edit through and do jump edits and chop out all the, and then I end up doing the same explanation every single time and showing you guys my preferences for spooling up new reels. So, cheers. I know everybody has their own method and some people do things a little bit differently than how I do things, and that's okay. This is just how I do it. I never tell you what you should be doing, if you notice. I don't particularly care. I pay no mind to what another man does with his life or with his fishing. But I do enjoy sharing my viewpoints, my strategies, my methodology, my fishing strategies, techniques, the way I think about fishing and the way I think about the world here in these videos with you guys. So that's what we're doing. We're just sort of showing you what I do, not telling you what to do, because I don't care, but hopefully this helps somebody out there, because sometimes people will ask questions and they'll say, hey, how come this is happening to me? Or how do I do this? Or why do I do that? And not everyone's advanced, not everyone's intermediate, not everyone has been fishing for a very long time. Some people are new to the bass fishing world. We have new anglers coming through the door every day. So if you're one of those people, shout outs to you. And hopefully something I say in this video while I'm here running my mouth helps you out today. But as you can see, I'm feeding the line back down the rod backwards so that I can keep adequate tension on the line and on the spool as I am reeling. And you'll see that here in a second. Let me just get this done. Let me get this done. It's turned into a shit show. Holy shit, I almost knocked my coffee cup off the freaking thing. That would have sucked, man. The Lord is with me like a mighty warrior, Jeremiah 2011 mug. I would have been freaking upset if I broke that. But anyways, so I've got the 17-pound Seaguar Invis-X fluorocarbon fed through. The baits reel has a convenient little hole there. You can stick the line in and help you get it fed around the spool a little easier. Next thing I'm gonna do is just tie an arbor knot. Good old-fashioned arbor knot, super easy knot. You guys can learn it on the internet. Basically, you just tie a knot around your line. I like that this, the Hundo has this little groove right in the center for your fluorocarbon to sit. If you're running straight braid, you'd want to throw some electrical tape on here because there's not really enough room on this Hundo size reel to run a backing, at least not much of one. So that would be my recommendation. A little electrical tape never hurt anyone. I'm about to get this cinched down. Tighten our drag down, that's the next step. Crucial step, don't forget that one. Tighten my drag down. We're spooling, baby. We're spooling. Now, you heard me talk about adequate tension. So I've got a slight bend in the tip of the rod. Not like too much, but you want the spool to be kind of snug over here. Not so tight that it's difficult to turn, but not so loose that it just spins freely. Sort of want it to feel like you're fighting in a small fish. All right, she's full. There it is. Get clipped up. Now it's freaking Miller time. Now comes the super fun part where we get to tie a freaking bait on this heater. And let me tell you what my plan is for this one. Swim jig hitter. Fall time swim jig hitter. If you guys watch my fall bait breakdown video where I went over my favorite high confidence fall time bait categories and baits, you saw me talk about this guy right here, the swim jig, and you saw me talk about this guy right here, paddle tail swim bait, Kitech 3.8, Divine swim jig from 6 Cents. It's my favorite swim jig combination. So let's go ahead and bust this out. we go. Pro Green heater right here. 3/8 ounce, brand new Pro Green heater, one of the last of the Mohicans. Not gonna be able to get these things again once they're gone. Right there. And then this Kitech Fat Swing Impact Sexy Shad 3.8 inch on the back of a Divine swim jig. Match made in heaven, dude. This is my ultimate power hour, covering water, turning, burning. If I could only have one bait going to a new lake, gotta get a fish in the boat. This is it right here. Swim jig, dude. Swim jig. They just eat it. They just eat the dang thing. So, press that weed guard down. I'm gonna pinch my Kitech right up here by the nose. I'm gonna go in as centered and as straight as humanly possible. Watching every single movement, keeping that hook point dead center. Coming out right where I know to come out in the bait just from doing this 7 million times. And then we're just gonna wrap the tail of that bait around the hook point. Screw that soft plastic paddle tail swim bait onto that screw lock bait keeper, which is going to keep it locked in place, help us preserve our paddle tail, because as we know, Kitech's not exactly the cheapest soft plastic or the most durable, but having the screw lock does help. And that right there is my favorite swim jig combination. Pro Green Divine swim jig, best swim jig ever created, and a Kitech Fat Swing Impact 3.8 on the back. That right there is a super heater. If you want to up your hookup ratio just a little bit, you could trim that weed guard down like that, or you could even just clip it off. I'm gonna go about right there with it. And now I'm excited because now we get to feel the power. I have the power. We get to feel just how it feels, you know, fully set up, fully locked and loaded, you know. We're fully equipped. Our loadout is ready. San Diego Jam, 5, 6, 7, 8 wraps on my San Diego Jam. Back down through the bottom, back up through the top. Whatever you do, do not wet your fishing line when you're tying your knots, because that'll make it break. That's what I heard. Sometimes I say stupid things. There we are. There we are, dudes. The new Bates Hundo on the 7.4 medium heavy mod fast heater series swim jig rod with the best swim jig ever created, the Pro Green Divine. You pick your poison. When it comes to the color, pick your poison. But that's the best swim jig ever made, man. The Divine swim jig from 6th Sense, super heater. Dude, that right there. I'm so excited. The new setup. I cannot wait to go out there and make the first cast with this. It feels so good in the hand. So light, compact, palmable, beautiful. I really love the way the handles feel, the grips. Man, I'm so looking forward to fishing with this. I've been wanting to try one of these for a long time. Ever since I first got that goat swim and started catching fish on it, I was like, okay, I gotta try that Hundo. Now here we are. I got a feeling I want to be reaching out to Bates and asking them for about 6 more of these suckers so that we can outfit the rest of the arsenal. You guys let me know what you think about that. But wait, there's more. I have the salty Hundo here, which, if I'm being honest, as far as the way this one feels and as far as the way this one spins, still going by the way. I'm really impressed. I'm really excited. It's still going. Really excited to get this out on the water and see how it performs. A little bit beefier of a reel, so I have a little bit heavier of a rod in mind. For this one, I'm gonna go with the 7.5 heavy fast heater. Heavy jigs, heavy Texas rigs. I got the Panorama on there right now with the little axle swinging jig head. That's the last thing I was throwing on this setup right here. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to find another use for this Curado DC 7.4-1, but I actually really love my Curado DCs. So Don't worry, we're not throwing this one in the trash. The argument could be made that the Curado M is the better reel. At least on paper, I understand that may very well be the case. But for me, Curado K all day. The Curado 200K is still my all-time favorite reel. Could that change? It remains to be seen. But I love me some Curado K, and that Curado M just did not do it for me. That being said, love me some Curado DC. So we will find a use for this one, guaranteed. But the name of the game right now for this 7.5 heavy fast heater, the Salty Hundo. Let's check it out. Yeah. Not bad at all. Looks pretty slick. Feels just as slick. What do you think, man? I like that blue on there. Blue looks good. All right, I'm just gonna keep it rolling. I'm gonna go with 17 pound on this one as well. And then I'll save my 20 for the Salty 150, a little bit beefier of a reel right here. This one's got the long handle on it. This one's heavier, a little bit different design. This one's a bigger reel, 150 size. And we're gonna have to figure out what to do with the OG as well as the LTS, which is light tackle system, the BFS reel, which if you guys watched my last video, you heard me make the announcement, 6 cents. I mean, I got updated photos yesterday, 6 cents. We're rounding the corner now. I'm about to have the first ever 6 cents BFS rods in my hand. So that LTS from Bates is going on one of those. You see this box right here? While I was at 6 Cents HQ, we went on a shopping spree, dude. We went on a prototype unreleased. This is the bait room, unreleased heat, unseen heat, prototype heat, stuff that's just now about to be released. Subscribe to the channel, stay tuned for the video where I show you everything in here. My God, this is just freaking loaded. I can't even show you right now, but trust me, you're gonna wanna see this. Stick around. Coming soon to a theater near you. Go ahead and do this. This right here. 7/8 extra heavy fast action heater series Swimbait special. You guys didn't know I have my own signature line of fishing rods through 6 Cents. 24-ton Japanese graphite blank. Comes with a 6 sleeve. Me and 6 Cents worked to develop these rods for myself and you guys so that you can fish with the same thing that I fish with. And that right there is what I've got in store for this Bates Salty 150. A little bit beefier, bigger swim bait setup. I don't know, I might spool that up with 20 and then throw that freaking Chad on there. You never know. You're gonna have to stick around and find out what's next. I think we could go ahead and wrap it up here. Pretty much the same process. I'm gonna put 17 pound fluorocarbon on this 7.5 heavy fast heater. And then I'll probably, I might tie that right there on. I don't know, I'm gonna have to sit around here and think about it, but this video is getting pretty long. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more about the Bates reels, show you guys some of the modularity, let you guys watch me spool one up and get it rigged up on a heater. Now we have 3 baits mounted up, 2 to go. We'll get those ironed out shortly in the future, and probably the next time you see me with these reels in my hand, I will be out there on the water actually fishing with and using them. Stick around for that. Like I said, man, you guys, come on. Secure your stock equity now and become a board member of Heaters Only LLC by clicking the subscribe button. Help us grow this beast. Don't worry, I didn't really throw the Curado in the trash. It's right here. Stop bugging out. Yeah, shout outs to Bates, man. These reels, they feel awesome. Now having line on them, having them mounted up on a rod, it's like we're getting freaking close, and I honestly can't wait to go hook the boat up and get out on the water. So that's what I'm gonna focus on doing for the rest of the day. You know, I will have the cameras rolling and I'll bring you guys along for the adventure. Stick around if you wanna see it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me out here in the garage for another one. Hopefully you enjoyed it, but that's about all I got for you today. That about does it. That about wraps her on up. So I'm gonna say goodbye for now, and I will see you on the next one. Identical.